Hello, folks. Welcome to the afternoon tiebreaker for the 2013 U.S. Junior National Championships at Broomstones Curling Club in Wayland, Massachusetts. We have an exciting match coming up between Team Stubbe, skipped by Jeremy Stubbe from Wisconsin, playing Team Tony Wright from Minnesota, the Minnesota 2 team. After an arduous round robin of 9 games, these two teams are tied for the 4th spot, and the winner of the game will move on to the 3-4 game in the playoffs. Before we start, we do want to introduce the announcers. Fred Leichter is here doing color.
Hey Tim, happy to join you.
And I'm Tim Ho, and we want to thank our gold sponsors who are presenting these playdowns to you: Dunkin' Donuts of Lexington, Whole Foods of Wayland, and Brooms Up Curling Supplies. So
Tim, let me just jump in and explain why there's a tiebreaker and how that system works for folks. So we had 9-game round robin, 10 teams each played each other once, and so at the end of that, we have the Dropkin team at first place at 8-1. The Dunham team it's in second from Pennsylvania at 7-2. Washington Vukic in third at 6-3, and then we have Jeremy Stubbe, who lost the game this morning that would have wrapped up the 4th spot against Tim Wright, who won at 5-4. So somebody's asked how come they don't just go with the head-to-head, which was won by Tim Wright, I believe. We had that up a second ago. Tony Wright, sorry. So. Tony Wright won that head-to-head game in draw 9, 7-4. And the reason for that is you can't be eliminated from competition by virtue of a tiebreaker, even if that tiebreaker is the head-to-head. And people would prefer to play a game on the ice that has such big implications.
because essentially the team that wins enters the playoffs and is alive, and the team that loses, their competition is over. Their nationals is over.
Yeah, so this is a big game here. That's exactly right. This game is winner goes on. Winner will play in the 3-4 game in the Page system tonight, and the loser will be watching for the rest of the competition. Now that said, there was going into the last draw, there was a strong probability there might have been a 3-way tie at 5-4, which would have been broken by 2 draws. And given that we lost a draw here at Broomstones for a power outage, there were a lot of people on the organizing committee who would have been scrambling if we'd had to have 2 draws. So there's no tiebreakers on the women's side and just this one on the men's side. And at this point, the organizing committee and the officials, I have a feeling, are fairly relieved that that's the situation. Not that we all wouldn't have liked to watch curling from here on out.
Right, Fred. I think if the Dunham team would have lost to the Pedersen team this afternoon, we would have had 3 teams at 5-4.
Yeah,
which might have created a 2-game tiebreaker.
And if Hodek had won, he was in that too.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we are here, and this end is they're going right after it. Hammer is for Stubbe, who are throwing red rocks, and they have a corner guard and
See the hammer under the right sign.
You're right. I'm just counting rocks. There's another red rock. I apologize. I got an emergency call to come out and broadcast. I had to leave work quickly. I just arrived, so Tim helped me get things straight here.
Great. Well, as you can see, the boys have gone right to it. A lot of times teams will come out and maybe play a fairly clean first end, get a feel for the ice, but we've got pretty much all the rocks in play except for one. Stubbe without hammer has a guard just off center, and Wright's team has now come in, hit a nice hit, and it's pretty well under that rock.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Yep.
Nice little roll for Yeager there.
So yellow line 1, 2, 3. Stubbe looking to clean the situation up a little.
Yeah, one thing you don't want to do is give up a big end here early.
So Andrew Summers coming in to See if he can maybe throw a double. It's not a big weight. It looks like he's going to try and hit and roll under the guards. Doing some big swing here.
Yeah, that curled a little too far, so he hits and rolls out, and Stubbe's still lying too.
Actually,
Wright is still lying too. I'm getting organized. I'm getting lots of help here. I will point out I was specially recruited because of my broadcasting prowess. And at least ability to keep things light and entertaining up here in the broadcast booth.
The Broomstones board is looking at renegotiating Fred's contract right now. So meanwhile...
Prepare for color, not accuracy.
That's true. That's true. Meanwhile, Wright's team is now really kind of locked up the center of the house. He's got a close center line guard, one on the forefoot. Ryan Karnowski now. Again, looking to clean up a little here. Throwing the out turn. I think he's trying to get under. I don't think he's really going to come with weight and
I'm
throw
not sure
a big
if
hit.
this is a hit. I think he actually is trying to freeze to that center yellow. But that's got a lot of weight.
Sweepers are on it now. There's a nice curl on this line.
Uh-oh.
But
he found the hole.
That's a bad break.
A little too much weight for the freeze, or a lot too much weight for the freeze. So that was a tweener. Stubbe was not sure what to do.
Absolutely. Tony Wright now, maybe looking to stack another one on top of the shot rock there. Could really make life difficult.
Yeah, this is Will Howison, the vice for Minnesota.
Walks away. It's kind of out there. Really needs to start working. Curls there. Now if they've got the weight and the sweeping to bring it to it.
Here it comes.
This looks like a great shot.
Wow, it's a great shot.
That is a great shot.
That curled a ton in the last few feet.
So now the Minnesota 2 team, skipped by Tony Wright, line 3. Jeremy Stubbe really might have to bail. Could be time to peel.
Yeah, I mean it's Wright is lying 3 with the hammer. So what do you do here? Do you open it up and essentially concede 2? And that's what he's going to do. I think that's the right call because if he keeps freezing and misses and rolls out,
absolutely,
it could be game over in the first end. So get 10 ends.
Looks like he's going to take that center guard. It's not in the rings yet, but if he can go back and lose 1 or 2 of the ones in the rings, he improves his situation a little and maybe opens up something where he can throw a draw in there afterwards.
Yeah, wait, here it comes.
Not a ton
they
of weight
to
on
sweep
that.
that a little bit for the double.
Leaves him a rock on the center line, but Wright looking to cover that up right now. Vice skip, Will Howison throwing the in turn, just looking to cover up that rock on the center line. Rocks away, sweepers are off. Waiting for it to curl. Not just good finish at the end.
Yeah, that curled a little more than he wanted. It doesn't really create any new guard.
there is an opportunity for an in-turn draw here to really change the complexion of this end here.
He's looking at the run back though. But that guard actually got, I think, to the place where it's maybe wired to pick one rock off, but not the double. So that's a decision. Make the big draw here and try to open it up. And it looks like they're going to play the draw. He's got two shots. This is a shot that he can make. The way it curls, he can get behind all those guards, and if he does, then it'll be hard for Wright to remove it. So big shot here early for Jeremy Stubbe.
And with all this curl, even if he gets to back 4, back 8, you know, he really changes the complexion of the end. Rocks away in the in-turn. Sweepers are off it right now. Seem to like the weight. A lot of late movement on this line.
Yeah,
you can see from that guard.
They're watching it. The line is good. If the weight's good. Now they're on it. And it's
really good. If he gets around the...
It hit the inside guard. They missed the sweep call there. They needed to... I think they were worried about the weight. And they had a chance to bury it. More important there to bury than to sit right on the pot or on the tee line.
Yeah, as I said, there was no problem being back 4, even back 8 on that rock.
And the line looked good. It got by the top guard, but then the way it curls here, it swung into the rock that didn't. It was the shot rock.
Which probably, from the hack or even from the vice skip's position, you think, oh, it's never going to hit that. But you saw the swing right there.
So Wright's throwing kind of a control weight hit here.
Sweepers are on it, but gotta wait for it to move a little here. I think he's going to get it. Really nice, maybe bumper weight there.
So he rolled out, does leave Stubbe in out here, which is a hit and roll to the pot. So that wasn't the best place that he could have left that rock.
Looking at the overhead, those rocks are fairly even. It looks like you can't hide this rock unless you really catch about a third of it.
Yeah.
And then there's always the danger of rolling out.
Yeah, I think you're right. He may pop back out. And I don't think he's gonna. It's a very makeable but flat double. I don't think he's gonna. That also would probably leave a rock exposed.
This is a pretty important shot here, Fred. As Yogi said, it's getting late awfully early. Jeremy Stubbe with his last skip stone. It's an in-turn hit. Needs to really get this rock to roll into a good spot. Sweepers are on, now they're off. No, it's
hanging
way outside now.
Needs to curl. And he gets a nose hit. So that rock is wide open. Tim Wright's got a wide open shot for 4 here.
Tony Wright just threw something similar, so this shot for 4 should open up a big lead at the very start. Rocks away, close, they're on it. They've actually taken that outside the line.
I think they've got the shot.
Needs to hang, yep, that looks good.
All right, nice shot for Tim Wright, and takes a commanding 4-0 lead in the first after 1. Tony Wright. Sorry to the Wright family. There is a Tim Wright, and that's what's confusing me. This is Tony Wright. I will get that right. Correct. Some of my friends are here to help. So it'll be interesting, Tim, to see, and it's Tim Ho sitting next to me, Tony Ho.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see what the Minnesota team does here. I would expect rock in the house, and they're going to go to the hit game, and they're good at it.
I would think so.
They're going to go right into a defensive mode, and just try to keep it clean and hold this lead.
And as we've talked about, these are 10-end games. You know, you really don't want to give up 4 in the first end. However, you have 9 ends to, claw your way back into the game, and there's no reason for the Stubbe team to panic at this point. Yeah, they get their corners up, they get their guards up, take your 2, and, if you get lucky and get a miss, take 3, you're right back in the game. So there's a lot of game left, and a big 4 looks always difficult, but it's not insurmountable by any point.
No, I agree with you, Tim. Stubbe's got to play for 2, but not try to get the big end. He's going to put up the corner guard.
And that's the right play. I mean, you can see sometimes, the younger players will immediately think, well, it's a big lead, and you need to start making shots that are maybe above your pay grade, and there's no need for that.
So Evan Brower puts up a good corner. It's pretty far off to the side, but the way this ice curls, that's a nice spot, nice and relatively tight. There's plenty of room to get behind it.
Wesley Lexel now with his second lead stone. He's trying to line those up, and looks like it's over curled on him a little. Those yellows sitting one right next to the other. Stubbe looking to hit and control the outside one, roll on top of the other. The double here just opens up that hit game, so you need a rock to sit on top of. A down weight out turn hit. Oh, you can roll that under.
Yeah, actually could have rolled that over to the other side behind that guard. It would have been a great shot.
Yep. So now Jesse Yeager will come in with the intern hit here, and look to remove as many reds as he can. Is Tony Wright?
Yeah, our crack production team here has done a great thing and decided that with only one game going on out there, we can crank up the ice mic so you guys can get a sense and hear what the players are yelling. And that's with 4 games going on, it sounds like chaos out there, and it's pretty hard to listen to. But with 1 game, I think that's going to be great. So you guys are going to get to hear a little bit of what's going on out there. The other thing, Tim, that's interesting in a game like this, when there's only one team out there, is how the ice behaves.
Absolutely.
Generally, we know that if there's games of 4 going on and there's only 1 game left, then the ice will get a little colder and things will change. But with only 1 game going on, it can be consistent, but it's likely to play a little differently than what they've been seeing during the week with 4 games going on.
Absolutely. Once again, still looking to get that roll into that corner guard, and just coming up a little short on the roll. We might have a miss here. Maybe started that to get it curling. Hard to say.
Yeah, so that's a break Stubbe needs.
Missed by Jesse Yeager there. So now Stubbe can get this hit and stay on the side of the rings, separated enough so that the double's difficult. And I'm sure that Wright will continue to try to double, but that is a break. Turn hit right in the nose.
Nice shot.
And you're nice and flat right now. That's good. Tony Wright here will look to hit and bring the shooter a little closer to that other rock and shift the field of play a little. Gets the nose. Now Stubbe has a chance to hit this and get under this guard.
Yeah, there's still 4 rocks left for Stubbe, so it's sometimes a tough thing. It seems like all they got to do is make their hits and they've got their pair. So easier said than done to stick with them. If they can make every shot, then they will hold for at least a 2.
Brian Karnowski. Oh, maybe. Well, there was the early sweep there, and tough to say what held that line.
Yeah, they jumped that and got a little thin.
So now, Will Howison gonna clear this one rock that's left. We're a little outside the line. To get it, I think so. Okay. Well, once again, the usefulness of corner guards. Even though you have an empty house, you get under here, you're still looking at a deuce. Rocks away, out turn draw, sweepers are off. Line must be good. Weight must be good. No, they're close. Sweepers are on it now.
Getting on a little harder. It's coming hard.
He's carrying a lot of weight. So I think they let that rub because of the weight.
Yeah, that's one of those tough things in curling. It's all about communication. If the sweepers are doing their job, they're communicating with the skip how far they think that it will go. A lot of these teams will use the number system, which is they basically have zones in the house from 1 through 10 that go from a long guard to the back of the house, and they'll yell that out. And the skip's job is to see the line and process those 2 things. And sometimes you can't win, but likely he made a good call there to let that rub, because at least he ended up with a rock in play and he still has a viable card.
You know, Tony Wright, the intern hit, he may be able to, no, just right on the nose. Now that rock's awfully high to try and make use of that corner guard, but you can get a slightly under it.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's going to... If it does get under it, there's a double there.
Yeah.
If it's half covered, it makes it a tougher shot.
Stubbe now with the hit. Sweepers are on. Again, right in the nose. No roll.
Yeah, a lot of nose hits today. So, in a testament to the popularity of these broadcasts, Tim, here we have a Friday afternoon game that was not on the schedule, and there are only 2 teams out there, and we have so far 195 people online.
It's impressive. It's impressive. Glad you guys could all
looks like
not be doing what you're doing at 4:30 and be watching the game and listening to us.
It's time for the weekend.
Thanks for joining us.
Big games tonight at 8, and semis and finals tomorrow.
Shots away, Tony Wright. Sweepers are on. Looks like it's curling up on him, surprisingly, but he's got it. Good weight, held the line, and he's going to roll out.
Stubbe's going to try to get that out so that I would expect him to blank here.
Yeah, I don't think taking a single here is exactly what he had in mind. So a blank, and he moves on to the third end with hammer, looking to take multiple points. And Fred, what you were talking about in terms of team communication and the number system used for calling weights, in a game like this, to tie it in with the number of teams out there, it's a lot easier to be able to communicate with your team with nobody else on the other sheets, and it really changes the dynamics of how you play the game and how you call out the weight of the shots in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's a great point. There's a lot of times with 4 games going on and people screaming that even at this level you're sweeping to somebody else's call, or you're waiting that extra second. So that's exactly right. They can hear each other breathe out there. And Stubbe does blank. So we're still at 4-0 for the Tony Wright team of Minnesota 2 after 2 ends of play here in the playoff game to get into the Final Four.
And I think that's, for Tony Wright, that's perfectly acceptable to him. You know, he's in defensive mode. He wants to give up, 1, no more than 2, and a blank means there's more time off the clock for him. There's one less end that the other team didn't score, and that's an acceptable outcome.
Yeah, it's an 8-end game now.
Yep. With a 4-rock lead.
Yeah, but this is a good hitting team, but I have. It is hard to protect the lead sometimes. You start getting too defensive early, and you get a miss here and there, and all of a sudden you tighten up. So
I agree with that.
This game is definitely not over. But it is a good start for Tony Wright. We had a game earlier in the week on the women's side that was 9-3 after 8, and ended up 9-9 after 10. Only to have the team that had been up win the extra end. But that was a big comeback.
Curling is an interesting game, and anything can happen, and that's why you play, and that's why you don't just look at the lineups and say you win. Well, Evan Brower there with a corner guard slightly heavy, slides into the rings. A mistake that probably Jeremy Stubbe wasn't looking for, because again, this starts that hit game that Tony Wright's looking for, and starts it 1 rock earlier than Stubbe was looking for. But we may have we have another miss on the hit. That's unfortunate. So now Stubbe's going to double up on that guard. Looking for the guard to curl up now. Quite still, I think maybe just carrying a little too much weight. So now Tony Wright.
Try to get both of those.
Yep. Gets that on the nose.
Tim, to your point about playing the games. This game is between what were originally based on player seedings. That is the vote of all of the all of the teams. Stubbe was the 3 seed, and Wright was the 4 seed. Minnesota won. Myers was the 2 seed, and he's been eliminated. And in second place, you have the number 8 seed, Dunham of Pennsylvania.
Right.
I would argue that was an awfully low seed because that's a good team people just didn't know about.
That's true.
And Vukic is in, and he was a 7 seed. So things have not played out. You did have the 1 seed prevail, the high performance USCA team of Dropkin. But we get some action and some
absolutely. But again, Ethan Myers had some unfortunate health issues through the week, and it's important when you get in these competitions, you figure out how to stay healthy and available to play, and it's not like he wanted to be sick, but
no,
unfortunately that is what happened. And in fact, he says he might be going to the ER today or tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we're definitely sorry to hear that, and wish him the best. It's draining. I mean, the other thing is, having been around a number of these as a coach, it is a long week. I can't think of a sport where you come out and you play 9 games in less than a week with the potential to play another 3.
Right.
And these are not, you go to a swimming meet and you might be in the pool for 4 or 5 minutes.
Right.
You're out there for 2.5 hours plus practice.
Right.
A lot of these teams are out in the optional practice at night, at 11 o'clock at night, throwing some more stones. So for anybody who thinks that curling is an easy sport, this is a grueling week, and it takes its toll on people physically. There's a lot of sore muscles out there, and you're fighting fatigue too at this point.
And the mental aspect of it is also difficult because you have wins and losses and highs and lows. And if you win a game in the morning and you lose a game at night, and or vice versa, you really need to be able to be mentally tough to deal with that. And a lot of the learning is that part of it. So meanwhile, Jeremy Stubbe has 2 rocks in the house, 1 half covered by a corner, and Tony Wright's team again looking to do some cleanup, and they do. They make a very, very nice double, and kind of put a hurt on Stubbe's end there, but gotta come right back. Stubbe's setup is not bad. He's got a corner to work with, a couple of rocks to sit on.
Yeah, he's got to be patient. He's got to shake those off. They're playing a good hitting team, so he's got to be patient and just stick with it.
Yep. Ryan Karnowski now looking to corner freeze on this yellow rock that's in the 8-foot. That's a little behind the guard, and when we get there, it's a great shot. Sweepers are working. It looks pretty good from here. Oh, looks like it might have just over curled. Tony Wright immediately says, "Let's continue to play the hit game." Or just draw the other side, split the house.
Draw the other side, split the house, and Stubbe does have a tap up on the rock he just threw. It's a tricky one because he did over curl, as you pointed out, Tim.
Yeah, it's amazing how much room the skips are needing to give on draws and guards. These rocks are really finishing hard this week. So Tony Wright looking to hit.
Yeah, he thought about playing to the open side, but he's going to try to chip that red out of there.
Not a bad call.
No, it's a good call. Even
if he plays it tight and he can move that corner guard, that's okay.
Corner, that's a good shot too.
Knocks away, and I think he's got it. Nice shot.
Great shot.
Jeremy Stubbe looking for the same freeze. Ryan Karnowski now, having just thrown this, I think his weight was terrific. So all he has to do is repeat the stroke. Should be fine. On the out turn, rocks away. Sweepers are on it. This time Stubbe's trying to hold that line so he doesn't. It's still over curling. He's behind the guard now, and that's good.
Weight was nice. That's a good shot.
That is a good shot.
That got behind the guard and bumped that yellow out a little bit where he could get to it if he gets a chance.
So Tony Wright with the yellow as the shot rock. He's going to look to cover that a little bit. If he gets under that guard, it's going to be difficult to get at that shot rock.
Yeah, I'm surprised he doesn't try to pick that red out again. I guess he's thinking that if he picks the guard, then Stubbe has a hit to lie to. But he just made that shot. It's pretty much the same shot. So
I think there's a little less separation between the rocks, and I think this one might be a little further.
It is a
under
little
the guard.
further over, yeah.
So Tony Wright looking to get around this corner. Sweepers are really working this one. Now they're off. They're definitely around the guard. Doesn't want to bounce off that red and leave a double. That's a pretty good shot.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at the overhead to try to figure out if there's a double there still.
Looks like he's cornered that red. He's got about an eighth of that red, and I think if you throw it with weight,
I think if you hit it hard enough, it's gonna bounce off a little bit, but still get the yellow. But I could be wrong, and he's just gonna try to bump it, I guess.
Yep. It's not bad. If he shakes up those three rocks, it gives him an opportunity with his next rock. And that's the thing about curling is as the end builds, you can always build the house for your last 2 or 3 stones to score. And Jeremy Stubbe here is looking to do that.
They're on it hard.
Yeah, they are. He's going to be close to that guard. Sweeps are really working it.
And they're by.
They're by, and
and
nice there
shot.
it is. Like you say, Fred, he did get the back one.
Yeah, that's the shot I was thinking with a little more weight might have moved them both, but he's Tony Wright's got to figure out where to put this so that there's not a double. He certainly wants to be in the house. I think he wants to lean it against those reds.
He does. If he gets under that guard, and into the full 8 foot, he'll be lying 1-2. And that'd be difficult to take multiples for Jeremy Stubbe.
Even if he's only lying 1-3, that's a good shot.
Sure.
Then that forces Stubbe to take 1, which is a good outcome for Wright as well.
So Tony Wright's rock is away. Sweepers are off it right now. Looking from the curl, it's carrying a little bit of weight.
This
May
may not work
slide
out for
between
him.
all the rocks.
Wow. There's the opportunity
Absolutely.
Stubbe's been looking for.
So Jeremy Stubbe now with the in-turn hits and stick. That would get him 3 points and put him right back into the game.
It's a big shot. He really wants to stick here, obviously.
That's away. Sweepers are on.
Oh,
Early
wait,
sweep.
This has got to move.
It's coming back nicely now. I think there's catchers out there. Oh, no, there's not.
No, that ran a little too straight. So he gets his 2, but Jeremy Stubbe's definitely frustrated about that shot. That was his chance to be absolutely back in the game. But down 2, just got to shake that off and focus on the fact that he's got 7 ends left and only 2 points to make up.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, I don't know if it looked like it was inside and the sweepers jumped it, or the vice skip decided it looked a little inside and needed to be swept, but it definitely changed the line.
Well, and the thing, Tim, that we were talking about earlier, this being the only game out there, it not only can impact the speed, but it could impact the straightness of the ice. And so
Absolutely.
It's a single game going out there. The ice may not have as much swing, especially at weight, as it has had, as they've seen.
So now Jeremy Stubbe is without the hammer, so he'll be looking to get some center guards, keep some rocks in play, and probably looking to steal 1 or 2 in the next couple of ends. And but you do it conservatively, because if he can hold Tony Wright's team to just a single, then he can come right back and look to take multiples in the next end.
Yeah, no, that guard did not end up where he would have wanted it. That's a corner guard, which means that Wright's going to come right behind it.
Yeah, it seems like as these games move on, the curl really picks up, and you really see it in the lead stones. And the skips almost get surprised in about this end, or about the 4th and 5th ends, when the curl is really picking up.
Yeah, that curled a lot. He bumped off the guard. So here we saw a missed shot that ran straight. It's very weight sensitive. That's the thing. So we're seeing this big swing on the lighter of weight shots, and you bring the weight up and it can hang.
Jeremy Stubbe here.
Just going to try to put up a center guard.
Again, Fred, I think we're going to be well past the center line with this rock.
Yeah, I don't think it got out fully there.
You know, sometimes in the skip with a hammer, you appreciate the opposing skip setting the corner guards for you, and you can get under in either direction.
Yeah, Tony Wright's looking at splitting and seeing if he can get rocks behind both of those, maybe.
Yeah. So, Jesse Yeager now looking to throw the split, the outturn, probably just past T-line weight. This is curling up now, so
yeah,
I think this is
no
just to
split,
get under.
just
Yeah.
a draw. Weight looks good.
Weight is perfect. Yeah. Let's see if it finishes up.
It's a good shot.
Absolutely. With that long guard and this amount of curl, you can definitely hit that. Jeremy Stubbe looking to hit the top yellow and get some control of the one in the 8 foot by being on top of it. Andrew Summers here. Walks away. This one started to curl too. Gonna be on the nose, no roll. Just a little back to the center line, but that's okay. Tony Wright's going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, Timmy wants to just flop behind the guard, which would be a tough spot for Stubbe to deal with it.
So the in-turn. In-turn hit. Sweepers are right on it. Tony Wright anticipating the curl. Oh, great shot.
It's a beauty. Yeah, Minnesota too is they are playing well here this afternoon.
Jeremy Stubbe now, the corner guards now are he's starting to feel the pain of those corner guards because even if he corner freezes on that top yellow, the angles are a little tough to get back there and maybe double those yellows with that. Like it was either a lot of weight or line wasn't bad there, but just didn't quite get there for the freeze. So now Tony Wright can hit and lie back of the house. Again, that would be a dangerous rock for Jeremy Stubbe because that would be a third point if those two yellows stay as the only rocks in play. Jaeger's rock is away. Sweepers are on it hard. That's pretty good. They're definitely by the yellows. No roll though, so this gives Stubbe a bit of an opening here to hit and hide his shooter. Could be shot rock there behind a corner and two yellows. Difficult to get at for Tony Wright. First by Skip Stone. Out-turn hit, looking for the roll. Sweepers are on this one immediately. It's moving some. It's holding it nicely. Let's see where the roll goes. Oh,
a little too much. So Tim, a little advertisement for those of you who are listening in and are in the area. We do have the Page games tonight at 8, and then tomorrow at 9 a.m. the semifinals on both sides will be on the ice, and we're going to have 150 seats out on the ice, I am told. So this is a great opportunity for folks to get out and get a sense of what it's really like to be part of a curling game. If you're new to curling, or you want to bring your kids out, or bring some friends out, dress warmly, because it gets cold sitting out there. You're watching these guys in t-shirts, but they're moving. Dress warmly, but highly recommend getting here early and grabbing one of the seats out on the ice and experiencing and listening to the whole game.
Yeah, if you're watching on the webcast, the difference of watching these guys throw the stones, work the brooms, it's something to see.
Yeah, so semifinals at 9 and finals at 1:30.
Fred, maybe you can explain the page system and the page game, which is occurring as well.
Yeah, exactly. So the way this works, and the reason there are ability to have only 2 games going on in both slots. So the teams get ranked 1 through 4, and these guys are playing for the 4 slot. And what happens tonight in the page games is that the number 3 team plays the number 4 team, and the loser is eliminated. The number 1 team plays the number 2 team, and the winner of that game is through to the finals, while the loser of that game plays the winner of that 3-4 game in the semifinal at 9:30 in the morning. And this happens on both the women's and the men's side simultaneously. So we'll have 2 games on the ice. I'm pretty sure they're on sheets 2 and 3. I know they are, because we will have seats on sheets 1 and 4. So hopefully that made sense. You guys who are not familiar with it can diagram it out. The reason for that, rather than just the straight semifinal final, is, which is what they used to do, is you would have situations that had happened several times where a team would go undefeated in the round robin, clearly one of the dominant teams, have a bad game in the semifinals and be eliminated. And so by implementing this page system, it rewards the teams who finish in the first 2 slots. And those teams that have had the best weeks, they get an opportunity to lose 1 game and still recover in that semifinal game.
Yeah, it's definitely a reward for having a good week through the round robin. As we described, you're playing all the other teams who are here, and if you go through and have a really good record, you don't get penalized for having one slightly off game, and you get a chance to play that semifinal even if you lose your first page game. So
yeah, and you also get a clear third place bronze medalist without having to offer 2. So that can be painful to the team that was in 4th because they get this far and they don't get a medal. But there's a lot at stake in that 3-4 game. So Stubbe's in a bit of a mess here again, it looks like, Tim.
I agree. He's going to throw an out-turn hit, and hopefully he can get under these 2 yellows again. But again, we've got another takeout that's over-curling on him. I don't know if he's under-reading the ice, but he's got a good break there. He hit a rock. The rock over-curled, but he hit a rock that was out of count, but it doubled off one of the 3 counters. So now Tony Wright is lying 1 and 2, and sometimes with this many rocks in play, it's hard to figure out where you're going to put the next one to maintain your 2. There's a place here he could give up a triple.
Yeah, and furthermore, he doesn't want to give Stubbe something that's easy to get behind.
That's right.
For the steal. There are a couple good places. He's marked one of them that I would favor, which is over on the left-hand side. I mean, that does leave the possible double of those 2 rocks on the left if he gets too close. He wants to be relatively high, so it's
yes.
A tougher double, and even if he goes for it, he'll be wide open.
But he's got to be in the 12-foot, closer to the 8-foot to outcount this red that's right next to the broom here. Rocks away on the in-turn. Sweepers are off right now. Wait's looking pretty good. Sweepers are close. No, they're off. Nice shot all by itself.
Yeah, that is a nice shot.
Given some rocket weight, triple might be there, but I'd say just there's a double there, and that's
there's
good
a double
enough.
there, and a possible, and he's looking at the hit and roll behind.
To tell you the truth, if he throws a double, there might be a chance he could go sideways and at least push that yellow out of count.
If he can get behind the yellow on the right too, there's that long red out there, so there's a place he could put it where Tony Wright will be forced to draw.
True.
But these are not easy shots, and there's a lot at stake here. Front end is down with a suggestion of the back yellow that they hadn't been looking at. And that looks like it. You know, my philosophy is front end should always be thinking about strategy, and they should pick their moments. I think any of us have skipped or played with front ends that have too many opinions, but I like what they just did here. There's sometimes that the guys in the house get focused on something, and the good front end will pick once or twice a game when they come down and make a suggestion.
Well, Fred, if the call here is to hit this rock on the side of the 8-foot and to roll completely under the other side, I think that's a good call. If it's simply to get under the yellow, and it's just going to be in the 4-foot, then it's a pretty short run back for 3.
Yeah, I
And the double to kind of keep yourself close. Well, it's a nice shot. It's a really nice
he is
shot.
behind the rock you were worried about, but that's still a nice shot.
That was a nice shot.
Good suggestion by Summers, and let's see how it works out for him.
Yeah. So now, Tony Wright, with anywhere on the broom side of nose, and I'd say he's gonna get that shot rock out.
I think it's only for 2, given where that back red is.
Well, I think if you hit this with weight, the shooter's probably going to roll out of count, but
right.
You can also throw it a little down weight, get it close to nose, and have your shooter stay. The sweepers are on it.
It's a good weight.
Scrolling up the right.
They're off, they're on.
Looks like a really nice shot. That looks like 3 from here.
That might be 3. I was wrong. Yeah, they're kicking him away without a measure. It's clearly 3.
Very nice shot by Tony right there. Jeremy Stubbe with a very, very well executed shot. I think he made what he called.
So Fred Leichter here with Tim Ho after 4 ends. It's 7-2 for Minnesota 2, Tony Wright over Wisconsin, Jeremy Stubbe. So Stubbe's now got a pretty big hill to climb, but he's just got to try to get a pair, look for the opportunity to get 3, and keep plugging.
And if you're Jeremy Stubbe, again, you have 6 ends to play. You've seen an end where you got mistakes, and you had a chance for the 3. I think it's discouraging to give up 3, but now's the time to be mentally tough and hang in, and and grind through the next couple of ends. You take your 2s, if you have a chance for 3, you're right back in it.
Yeah, I agree, Tim. He's got to.
But as the game goes on, your opportunities to miss a half a shot here or there, they start to slip away from you. So you need to tighten up the game a little bit.
So this is another, this is a spot too holding the lead that the guy throwing the first rock's the lead is another underappreciated spot. So that rock went just deep of tee, and they're not going to go after it, but it wasn't what they wanted. So Tony Wright wants every rock top 4 here in the house. Definitely not a guard, but not deep either.
And now Evan Bauer, I think the original call was for a corner guard, and it looked like Jeremy Stubbe might have changed his mind mid-shot, trying to freeze up to that rock in the back 4, and
I think he just I thought the call was a guard, which is the right call here.
Yes.
I think even though that yellow rock is back at tee, you hope that's going to help you later.
Right.
Put up a guard and then use that as backing, but this is now going to let Tony Wright just go after him.
Shots away. Sweeps are really working it, but I think they're going to be fine. Yep, absolutely. They don't have the roll they want, but now they're...
Yeah, so Jeremy Stubbe's doing the right thing here and putting up a corner.
Yep.
And you might wonder why he's putting that corner on the side of the rocks that are already there. It looks like it makes his job harder, but again, he's trying to find a place where the rock can get behind it, it can't be taken out, and we can maybe bump that rock back. So it's a harder maneuver, but it's what he's got to do here.
And now you'll likely see Tony Wright, even if it is a guard, he'll probably start to hit everything, guards, whether they're guards, rocks in the house. That's the clearly defensive style that you're going to play when you're up 5 points at this juncture of the game.
Yeah, and he doesn't just want to hit him, Tim. He wants to peel him, which means get half the rock and roll out.
So Tony Wright here calling for the hit. We'll see what the weight is. Jesse Yeager rocks away with the in-turn. Sweepers are right on it. So now
there's a jam.
There's one of the mistakes we were talking about. By either he was narrow on the broom or maybe something a little on the release. Ran that red into the other yellows, and now that red is sitting in the 12-foot and could be worth a point. Jeremy Stubbe now calling a hit. Maybe you still want to think about a freeze here, being down multiples, but this is still okay.
Yeah, I agree with you though, Tim. Maybe bump that back.
Andrew Summers rocks away. Sweepers are on it. Need to work it around that yellow guard. It looks like they're clearly around. Now, roll away, and that's a very well executed shot.
So he's lying two.
He is.
Again, as I've been saying, he's not going to get it all back in this end. So if he can hold his two, it's a good end.
Absolutely. So Tony Wright, the angles are not bad. He has a shot at a double, but it has to be perfectly thrown and swept. Jesse Yeager throws it. Again, the angles are good. He makes contact with the other red, but
that's a nice shot.
It is
a double, but that's a nice spot for the yellow rock if you're Minnesota.
No Stubbe, considering his options, freezing on top of the yellows, pretty good. It's sitting right on the tee line. He also has his guard to work with, and he's going to draw behind the yellow guard. Away. Andrew Summers here. Sweepers are really working it. I think they're working it for line. I think they're holding it.
Yeah, line and weight. Oh, nice sweep. They're by the guard.
Around. Nice shot.
Good sweeping.
That's very good sweeping.
And these guys, muscles are sore at this point in the week.
Tony Wright now looking at maybe running back the yellow into that red.
An old timer behind me saying, well, if they were using corn brooms, they would not only be sore, they'd be bleeding.
Will House in here. Looks like a pretty good shot. Yes, well done. Really, this Minnesota team is executing quite nicely. Wouldn't you agree, Fred?
Absolutely. Yeah, they got an air of calm and confidence about them now.
Absolutely. Noski now looks like they're trying to hit this top yellow and roll over. The line looks pretty good. just a little too much. So it rolls right by the yellow-red. Now it lets Tony hit and roll right back on top of the stack there, and again making life tough for skip Jeremy Stubbe. Go, rocks away. Will Howison here. Sweepers are on it. They're looking for an inside roll.
Oh, that's even better.
Oh, and he doubles the back red. Great shot.
Yeah.
Now that corner guard is still there. Brian Karnowski now. This draw is still available. Shots away, sweepers are off. Line looks nice. Now the sweepers are working it.
Yeah, they're working hard.
There it goes.
They like to wait.
They do.
They need it to curl a little bit. Jeremy
Nice
Stubbe
shot.
comes out. I think Tony Wright can see about half that rock, and he's going to go for it.
Yep. And again, as you can see, with the big lead, Tony Wright, with a shot rock over on the side of the 4-foot, could consider throwing a guard or throwing something like that. But really, up all these points, all he's looking to do is to clear any red rocks that are available. So I think he'll be happy to hit this, even if the shooter rolls out.
Yeah, they just moved the broom out, so he's going to throw
a little less weight, I think.
less weight. Maybe it's like a hack weight.
The sweepers are right on it. Really working it. Sweepers are. Great sweep. Good anticipation there of the break.
Yeah, expect our ice mics picked up some pretty enthusiastic encouragement from Tony Wright to get his sweepers to dig in and fight through the pain and hold that, and they did it.
So now Jeremy Stubbe with looking for a hit and a roll into that guard again. Again, that corner guard's been there the whole time, so they've tried to make use of it, and if they get a little bit of a miss from the Tony Wright team, they can get their 2 points and work on climbing back and into the game. Looks like they're considering their options. Looks like Stubbe settled on the hit and roll. Rocks away. Looks like might have given a little outside action on that in turn. He might have a double here.
They're sweeping it.
I think they recognized it a little late.
Yeah.
Pretty steep angle, and it had to be pretty skinny.
Those are tough lines to call because you got to get it skinny to get that in off.
Yeah, you could see as Stubbe got to the hog line and at the release, he took it a little offline, a little outside the broom. So now Tony Wright looking to sink one up behind the guard here, and that definitely would force Stubbe into either a draw to the 4-foot or a hit on the yellow rock that's just touching the 4-foot for his one, and that would be mission accomplished for Tony Wright.
Yeah, he's trying to keep for those of you guys who are not that familiar with curling. He's trying to keep at this point Jeremy Stubbe from blanking, which at this point he would prefer to do than take one. If Wright can put another one in the house, Then unless it's a double, he's going to have to. Stubbe's going to have to either pick a draw or pick one of the rocks to hit.
And that's a perfectly good shot right there. If he draws to the backing, he'll be shot, but really looks like he'll be looking to draw the full 4-foot Jeremy Stubbe here from Wisconsin.
He should not be thinking about the backing. He should just be putting this on the tee. This is a big shot to keep his team in the game. And we will be going to the fifth end break. This is Stubbe's hammer.
In-turn draw, rocks away. Sweepers are off right now.
Now they're on it.
This rock's curling up now.
Weight looks good. All right, nicely done.
Nicely done. Full 4-foot. Well judged by the sweepers. And at the fifth end break now, Tony Wright's Minnesota team, Minnesota 2, is up 7-3 on Wisconsin's Jeremy Stubbe.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break, but before we do that, we want to make sure to thank our sponsors. Dunkin' Donuts of Lexington, 2 great shops in Lexington. They've been providing coffee and donuts and some other great food here all week to the competitors. Curling-owned business, and so please support Dunkin' Donuts of Lexington. Whole Foods of Wayland on Route 20 in Wayland has provided massive quantities of food for the opening day banquet and dinner, and been a great supporter of this event. And then Broomstones Curling Supplies, who are supporting this event and are also sponsors of the USCA. So thank you to our sponsors, and thank you to our technical crew that have done wonders. Amy and Randy Boback, Amy Heldorf, have been here unbelievable hours, and they're the guys who make the magic that you guys see happen with all these screenshots and angles. So we'll be back in just a couple minutes to kick off the second half of the game. We're on? All right, so we are back at the playoff game here between Minnesota 2, Tony Wright, and Wisconsin, Jeremy Stubbe. If you guys are just joining us, Tony Wright's team jumped out to a big 4-rock lead, a couple misses by the Wisconsin team in the first end, and Wright was able to pop a 4 with the hammer in the first end, and Stubbe's been fighting back since. He took, it was a blank in the second, he took 2 in the third, gave up another 3 in the fourth, and he just took 1 with a draw in the fifth. So our score right now is 7 for Minnesota 2 and 3 for Stubbe. But 5 ends to play, 4 rocks is not an insurmountable lead. But the game is starting to get short for Wisconsin.
So welcome back to Broomstones Curling Club, and I'm Tim Ho, and Fred Lecter's here with me, and we look forward to bringing you the exciting conclusion of this game.
And we're up to 241 people now that are watching online. And by now, at least on the East Coast, people can legitimately be done with work, so you can turn the volume up on your computers.
So now Stubbe's got he got a bit of a miss there by sliding the first rock into the 12-foot, but now he's got a guard on the center line, and Tony Wright now thinking about coming around after the first lead hit was missed. He's going to look for a hack weight hit on the rock in the 12-foot. Jeremy Stubbe smartly goes out and notices the position of the guard in case that gets moved. Looks like Tony Wright's calling for the come around here. Wesley Lexel here, lead for Minnesota 2. This one looks a little heavy.
A little heavy. Curled a lot, but that's going to go right through. So
I'll tell you, the lead position's funny. Right after the fifth end break, right after it gets swept, the ice seems to get a little bit faster, and maybe the leads get a little fooled on speed. So now Jeremy Stubbe looking for another guard. Looks like he's got a lot of line here. He needs this to work back to the center line. The sweepers are off it right now. It's coming now, but unfortunately that one got a little outside. So now Tony Wright will start hitting and moving these red guards.
yeah, they're in the second stone. So for those of you who are not familiar with a free guard zone, the lead is not allowed to hit or take out a rock that is in the guard area, outside in front of the house. You can move it, but you can't take it out. But now they're in the second stones, and given the lead, they're going to try to get rid of as many rocks as they can, and try not to leave the shooter up there either.
I think the Tony Wright team, they're trying to figure out a way to remove more than one rock. You can hit one, but with all these many reds up here, they love to be able to move 2 of them out of the rings as well as lose the shooter, keep things clean.
Yeah, we're going to see some big weight.
Yeah, this rock's away.
It's running straight.
It's going to get
The back one out. That's not.
Yeah, that wasn't really a dangerous rock.
That was not the. That was not the called shot. So Tim Wright's team was not missing much in the first 5 ends, but they've come out a little bit off here in the 6th end. So opening the door for Wisconsin.
Jeremy Stubbe looks like he's looking to put up another guard here, Fred.
Yeah, so if you were the coach of these two teams here, Tim, it was hard to What would you have told them at the fifth end break?
Well, I actually overheard Tyler George, the team for Minnesota 2, just pretty much tell them to keep their game up. He's a world-class curler, and he's actually telling them the team is playing well, and really just to keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, make your shots. Don't just make your shots one at a time. And I think if you're the Wisconsin coach, then you're trying to give them a little bit of a pump up. Remind them the game's not over. Stay in it. Stay focused. But strategically be aggressive. It's now time to be aggressive.
Absolutely. Fred, those last two peels, they're probably. I mean, they each removed the rock, but probably they were looking to do a little more damage than they did.
Yeah, I think so.
So now we're down to first Vice Stones. Jeremy Stubbe, he's smartly still looking to put up guards, patiently working the front of the house here. Well done by Ryan Karnowski there.
Yeah, and again, I would expect Tony Wright to try to get rid of a couple of these, but the top one, his priority is this top rock.
Absolutely.
He gets it.
Well done. Jeremy Stubbe now making his move, calling for the draw. Vice skip Ryan Karnowski here, throwing the intern draw, trying to get under this red guard that he just threw. Shots away. Sweepers are on it now.
Now they're going to let it curl a little.
They're close. Real close. Great shot. Well swept. The line was really well judged there because that thing was really moving.
Yeah, Wisconsin's coming out here sharp in the sixth end. Whatever their coach told them, they're not conceding anything.
And it's great because now it forces the Minnesota team to make some shots under duress, and you put some pressure on them and you see what happens. Took the right change turns on the hit, and well, that was an option on that shot, and he obviously took it. So got right by that front guard as the draw by Karnowski over-curled slightly, so you could see a little bit of the rock on the center line side, and Tony Wright's team goes right in and takes it out.
Yeah, look at where Karnowski has the broom now for this draw.
Absolutely.
They barely got the last one by, and it actually came out the other side, which is why Wright ended up hitting it, even if he wasn't necessarily trying. So they're going to try to be a little wider. This is way out there.
But you'll see if this rock clears this guard by 6 more inches, then the line's probably right. It shouldn't come too close to clicking this guard to finish up in the right place. Unfortunately, it looks like Jeremy Stubbe might be a little heavy, but you know what? That's still a good shot.
It is. Look at that
it's
curl.
Good to be. Yep. So again, forces Tony Wright to throw a good shot under duress here.
Now, some people might argue for another peel here.
Yeah.
The way it curls, I think, and that red being back of tee, this is a good call. But
I agree.
the truly defensive team would just open it up. Even let them have two.
Well, Tony, right now in the hack, he says, "Well, we can throw the same shot we just
he
threw."
heard me.
Yes. Thought they turned off the speakers on the ice, but
that never happened when I was coaching my team.
right. Successful peel. So now Jeremy Stubbe will put the rock where a jam is very, very possible for a steal. Put it in a spot where it'll make Tony Wright decide if he wants to throw a draw for the one or try and throw a double for one. Away by Ryan Stubbe. Again with that broom way out on the edge of the 12-foot. The sweepers are way off of it, waiting for it to come back towards the center line. He carrying a little too much weight here. Let's see if it finishes
There
up.
it comes.
Well,
it's a good shot.
It is
he
a
would
good
like
shot.
to see that come over another few inches.
there's
It leaves Tony Wright a wide open hit and stick, but
the way it's curling.
there's some
a
funny
lot of-
spots here. So
Yeah, this is no gimme because if he hits it, he can't roll out of the 8-foot because of the rock that was just delivered. Tony Wright takes no time in the hack. Takes it, comes right out. Sweepers are right on it. Now they're off.
and this looks like a good shot.
It does. Great shot.
That's a big shot for Tony Wright to keep control of the game.
Unfortunately for Jeremy Stubbe, he had a pretty good setup there.
Pretty much, they made just about every shot that end, and they give up a one, which, if it wasn't for the scoreboard, would be a good outcome. But he's going to stick with it and play the same kind of end, and he's at the hammer now and see if he can get a crooked number, as they say.
Now with 4 ends to play, I think Jeremy Stubbe might have to start opening up the game a little bit and really take the hits out of his playbook and keep a lot of rocks in play. He's looking at the scoreboard up there, probably evaluating what he does now.
He wants us in the house. And another good question, Tim, is when do you start throwing through?
I don't think you start doing it until later in the game, Fred. Let's just put it that way. We're here in the 7th end, and Jeremy Stubbe puts up his corners, and you can give up a 3 real quick.
It's true, but I think you'd rather. That rock is not where you want it.
No.
Keep it tee. So you didn't want to guard. Again, as a former lead, you're aiming for half a house. A lot of times the skip is aiming for a whole house. You're aiming for half
That's
a
true.
house here, and you're a goat if you put it back there, and certainly if you put up a guard.
Again, I think the call here is for the corner guard. Yeah, it is, and that's well placed.
Yeah, that's a nice shot. He's using that back one as a possible backing. So
Yep.
the combination of the corner guard and the rock behind the tee could be a nice setup for
Absolutely.
Wisconsin if they can take advantage of it.
Wesley Lexel now, looking to get under that red guard. Weight looks pretty good. Sweepers look pretty.
That not so it's a make 6 rocks with 3.
Yeah. Well, Tony right now looking to hit, and he could just pick that top red. He also could think about putting a cap on it.
Yeah.
A guard here would again make Jeremy Stubbe's life very difficult.
That's what he's going to call Tim. Again, they're listening to us.
They're listening to us. That's good. Hopefully.
Actually, I don't know if it is, but
hopefully somebody can see something, because our descriptions are getting looser and looser. However, with a number of rocks on the forefoot, Tony Wright's team looking to put a centerline guard out there. And
well, the thing about this is even if you lock on that red, then you're
Will Howison here.
You're holding on the 1. So that didn't quite get over. I think there's a glimmer of hope here for Stubbe, but he's got to find a way to get rid of those yellows.
Yeah, there's 3 rocks on the forefoot for the Minnesota rink, and Stubbe for Wisconsin needs to find a way to get a shot rock in there eventually. Again, he's talking about throwing weight. It might not be bad to throw down weight, move them all around. If you can get those yellow rocks at least T-line or back as catchers, you improve your life a little bit.
So it looks like the people are reporting the video feed is back. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened, but Minnesota fans are coming back to see a house that they like, and Wisconsin fans not so much. What's he trying to do here, Tim?
Ryan Karnowski now, it looks like with that broom, it looks like it's a little tap. I had looked away the same time that you did. It's a little tight on the broom. He really never got out there to the broom, which was on the edge of the 12-foot.
Yeah, this is going to overcurl.
That's an unfortunate break.
I don't think that helped the cause.
Tony Wright for a minute there looked at that red, which is on the 12-foot, which is a bit inconsequential.
Front end down, the Minnesota front end down here with a suggestion there.
From the overhead, I don't. There's no clear path to the shot rock, which is sitting on the pot. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I think you put another in-the-house guard up. Just clog it up some more.
Yeah, but at this point, anything that's that's on the center line really makes life hard for Jeremy Stubbe.
Exactly. Even if he digs out and gets rid of all of those yellows, he's still looking at a 1, which is a victory for Tony Wright's team in this end.
Absolutely. So, rocks away by Tony Wright. Rocks hanging on this outside line. Now it's coming. Sweepers are on it. It's working as it scrubs speed, and it's a nice shot.
So Stubbe's going to try to hit the yellow to the red to the yellow. Get rid of as much of those as he can.
Fred, unless those rocks are all close enough to give the entire world a dramatic display of the drag effect,
this is a double drag.
Yeah.
That's his first. It's his first stone, so he's just got to.
Needs to clean up his situation here and give him something with his last stone.
Bust it up. I might have tried to hit the red first, but he's got good weight.
For sure. Looks away. Sweepers are right off of it. He removed one. I think another inch or two to the left, and it would have been interesting what would have been left.
Yeah, another guard or even a rock right on top of it by Tony Wright, and Stubbe may not have a shot.
What's the survival? That's so you want the one-twos. You want the one-twos. Are they in the size?
Yeah.
Great. And we'll flash to the others.
Okay, so Tony right now looking to probably put a center line guard. It could be really anything over the hog line here, as long as he covers the center line to take away a promote on that red.
Needs just a curl, but here it comes. It's tough ice to place a guard.
True. Let's see how this finishes. Everything else has been really moving sideways as it loses steam, but this, well, there's a slot there.
There is a slot. He left Jeremy Stubbe a shot. I am not sure it's a shot for shot rock.
Yeah, I really don't.
It's
I
a
really
shot to cut him down here.
From the overhead, it really looks difficult to get at the shot rock. All right, Jeremy Stubbe throwing the in-turn hit. Throwing a bit of weight here.
He's got the weight.
Now this one's running straight because of the weight.
Oh, he takes the guard. It's like 3 for yellow.
Oh, and it's handshakes.
And they are shaking.
Yep. Tony
Well,
Wright's Minnesota 2 team wins the tiebreaker against Jeremy Stubbe's Wisconsin team.
yeah, congratulations to both teams. I mean, you want to be playing after the round robin's over, and they're looking to see if they had a shot. And the Stubbe team, I'm sure they're disappointed right now. But they did get past. It's tough to get this close. Clearly, the team that was playing better in this game was the Minnesota team, and they won. So the question will be, do they take this high and roll it into the next games? So we've got some amazing games tonight. Tonight, in some ways, is the feature attraction, I would say, if you want to watch a lot of great curling. So tonight we're going to have on sheet 1 the Tony Wright team against Jake Vukic. That's the 3-4 game. Again, in the page system, 3 plays 4 and the loser's out. Then on sheet 2, we're going to have Scott Dunham of Pennsylvania against Corey Dropkin. That's the 1-2 game. And the winner of that game will be off to the finals, and the loser will get a second chance. That's a game between two teams that Dropkin's only loss this week was to Scott Dunham. So that's a battle of GNCC skips. And the Dunham team has been for real. Even though they were seeded low, they've been for real this week and have made some amazing shots. Then on the women's side, on sheet 3, we're going to have the 1-2 game is Miranda Solom against Corey Christensen of Minnesota. That's the high-performance USCA team. That's a great game of two teams that that know each other pretty well. A great opportunity to see them play, and the winner is on to the finals. Loser gets a second chance. And then on sheet 4, we have Jenna Haig of Wisconsin against Sarah Anderson of Pennsylvania. So two Pennsylvania teams in the Final Four. Great games on every sheet. I believe our featured game will be on sheet 2, which is Dunham Dropkin. But we will be doing our best to cover all of those games for everybody. So we'll see if we can pop out the highest viewer total ever for a junior national webcast.
I agree.
Call your friends and tell them to watch. It's a great opportunity to see some great curling tonight. So either way, we're gonna broadcast till the end of the last game on all 4 sheets.
Follow us on live stream.
And follow us on live stream.
And like us on live stream as well.
Follow us.
Yeah.
Yep.
You love us.
Absolutely. So everyone, thank you for joining us from Broomstones Curling Club in Whalen, Massachusetts, home of the 2013 Junior National Curling Championships. That was the tiebreaker game to get us into the actual playoffs. And before we sign off, we absolutely want to mention again our gold sponsors for this event: Dunkin' Donuts of Lexington, Whole Foods of Whalen, and Brooms Up Curling Supplies.
Yeah, thank you, sponsors. Thank you, Tim. It's been fun working with you.
Fun working with you, Fred.
I think our broadcast team tonight is Graylin Cousins and Alex Leiter. We're going to hand off to the pros tonight.
Absolutely, and we're off.
Tim and I will support things from the bar.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.